You are watching the Notre Dame recruiting update each and every week with Mike Singer, Trey Yanity joining you as well today. Thank you guys for being with us. Friday, this edition, as we will be joining you on Fridays from here on out. Excited to get you guys a little bit closer to the weekend. Excited to talk about Notre Dame recruiting as we enter the month of December here, as we continue to creep closer to signing day. Mike, I want to hear about how the Christmas lights are going so far, of course, but a new offer has come out within the last hour that I want to talk about as well. A decommitment this week, all kinds of news going on in the world of Notre Dame recruiting. And that is why you guys need to go check out blueandgold.com. That is why you need to subscribe to our channel, not just to see all those videos that we're going to be posting about everything going on, but so you can get in our comment section as well. You got to be a subscriber to comment, and we want to hear from you guys. So be sure to do so. Get your questions in here. We're going to try to get to your questions later on in the show as well. Mike, are you Clark Griswold? How is the Christmas decoration setup going, and how are you doing today?
No, not Clark Griswold. Love Christmas season, but I was talking to my wife before I started recording. I asked her, have I left? When's the last time I left the house? Like that. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's very busy in my job right now, so she's handling most of the decorations. Yeah, I legitimately don't think I've left my house since Sunday, other than to get the mail and take out the trash. Yeah, just that kind of week for me, Trey.
I love it. And Merry Christmas, very early
Do
Christmas.
you love it? I don't love it.
Well,
But I want to go to Taco Bell.
We'll go to Taco Bell, Mike, once
I
the
know.
show gets done today. But we got some recruiting to talk about before you can enjoy one of Taco Bell's excellent menu items. Free ad for him there. And what's up, Michael? We see you in the comments section. Mike, this has been a big week, as always, of Notre Dame recruiting. I know you've been running around working hard to cover everything going on. And I want to start today with Drayk Bowen. This is a positive note to get us started. The Max Preps Indiana Player of the Year and the High School Butkus Award winner. Let's talk about his high school career a little bit. What led to him receiving this award and what he's going to mean to this class.
Oh, well, I mean, the Butkus Award, he was named Max Preps Indiana Player of the Year. I believe he won Mr. Football in Indiana for the linebacker spot. I mean, Prince Colley won the high school award. I think Jalen Smith won it. My memory's not serving correct. I think Jalen Smith won it, the high school award and the college Butkus Award. Manti Te'o won the Butkus Award. Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah won it. So it's just, man, it's an impressive streak for Notre Dame linebackers. Kind of building on linebacker U here in the past decade and some change. But Drayk Bowen, like I was talking to Tom Lemming, who's on the Butkus Award. I don't know, round table, whatever you call that. The word's escaping me, but he told me that, we think about Dick Butkus, that's a true middle linebacker. Nowadays, you got so many of these, super athletic linebackers that are playing at, 220 pounds and, not the linebackers where, our Mike Goolsby playing closer to 240. Bowen's a little bit more of a throwback. He's playing at 6'1.5", 233 pounds last time I checked. So, more of your true traditional inside backer, but he's also, as you see on that interception there, he's also an outstanding athlete and running the football. What was superb. I mean, this season, running the ball, 242 carries. I mean, that's a good bit of times he's ran the ball, but 240, but not a ton, right? I mean, you go over 300. You're talking about a lot for season, but for 1,784 yards and 26 touchdowns, and also had 3 receiving touchdowns. That's offensively, and then defensively, 144 tackles, 19 of those for loss, 5 sacks, 2 picks. Just an outstanding player. So I'm sure everyone in the comments wants to talk about transfers and decommitment this, commitment this, who we're going to flip, blah, blah, blah. We need to start the show by giving some props to this man, Drayk Bowen. So, yeah, been just a terrific leader for the Fighting Irish. And, yeah, he's going to be a great player for Notre Dame. And like, I mean, he committed so long ago, but do you remember when he was a recruit, like how big of a win this was over Clemson and Auburn, and had so many big time offers, and yeah, ends up picking Notre Dame, and so it was a great win then, and has been a great ambassador and face of the recruiting class to the Fighting Irish. Can't talk enough about this young man.
Yeah, no doubt. Such a leader, and like you said, he committed a long time ago. That gave him some time to, kind of help recruit some other guys as well. Certainly, one of the leaders in this class, and like you said, a lot of news to talk about. With the transfer portal, with some decommitments, with some of the more negative stuff, but such a positive highlight of this week. Drayk Bowen named a Butkus Award winner, all-time football name too. Let me just say, I think the number one football name is Dick Butkus, and now Drayk Bowen getting the honors there with the award. The Indiana Max Preps Player of the Year as well. And let's get into it here, Mike. I got to move it along to this new offer that we've had within just the last hour. I want to get some more breaking news. Mason Robinson out of Maryland, McDonough High School, an edge rush listed at 6'3", 230. Big guy here. What does this mean for Notre Dame's class if he were to commit, and talk about what went into this offer a little bit?
Yeah. So let's take a look at like who Notre Dame's had decommit in this class, right? You've had Keon Keeley decommit, the Viper, in offensive lineman, Elijah Page. Of course, now as I'm talking about it, the names are starting to escape me. I'm sure people can fill in. Justin Rhett, a corner. Like all these decommits, Notre Dame has basically filled those spots, right? You get Joe Otting as the offensive lineman replacement for Elijah Page. Notre Dame loses Justin Rhett, but then they go get Micah Bell. I believe they offered Bell the day that Rhett decommitted. So you've had all these replacements except for one, being Keon Keeley and Dylan Edwards. Of course, we'll talk about him. That's a whole separate discussion on replacing him so close to National Signing Day. But in the Notre Dame I'd been hearing, it's like one day they're done at Viper, and then the next day, nope, they're still going after somebody, and they offer Mason Robinson today. So really interesting. I think that Notre Dame getting a high school Viper, it doesn't seem like a need at this point. It's more of a want. Like if they can get someone that they really like, they're going to go get them. They offer Mason Robinson, a Northwestern commitment, who is taking an official visit to Penn State this weekend. I'm hearing that Penn State is clearly the team to beat for him. It's in a very friendly Nittany Lions area. I believe, just last cycle, denied Dennis Sutton was a big time edge rusher from this same high school. He's playing for the Nittany Lions. So, I know my colleague Ryan Snyder over at the Penn State on 3 website logged a prediction for him to land at Penn State. So my feeling here, folks, is that if Robinson doesn't commit to Penn State coming out of this weekend, then you look for Notre Dame to host them next weekend, the final weekend ahead of National Signing Day. So, that's kind of where we're at. Notre Dame's still working on players committed elsewhere. I mean, the Irish landed Brandon Hillman, the athlete from Virginia, this week, right? An uncommitted player at this point in the cycle. There's not many uncommitted guys, and most of your uncommitted guys right now just decommitted from another school, or they're players you're kind of reaching for, right? So Notre Dame is not just looking at Robinson. There are other Vipers, and I'm sure all that information will come out in due time, whether it's from me or from other outlets. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled. Notre Dame working on a Viper, but doesn't seem like it's not a guarantee to happen at this point.
Yeah, the Viper position, so interesting, and a late offer here to Mason Robinson. Do you think that it's a disadvantage or an advantage in a way for Notre Dame, being that this offer is so late? Do you think that maybe offering this late kind of gives them an exciting new option right at the end here?
It can. That's happened before, but not. I would say no if he goes to Penn State this weekend and goes and flips there. Then no, it didn't work out. I don't know when Penn State offered him, but it looks like they've already hosted him a few times. Like if let's say Penn State offered on Monday, then Notre Dame could have offered before then and got him on campus this weekend. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. It just kind of depends. If he doesn't commit to Penn State, then the answer is yes. But if he does, then the answer is no.
Yeah, it's maybe going to be a nice little surprise here for Notre Dame at the end of this class. Going to be interested to see how this visit to Penn State goes this week. And I see we have a super chat in the comments talking about some of the surprises that Notre Dame receives and the hints that you give out, Mike. Always great. Wicked Broncos production, thank you so much for the super chat. And guys, super chats, a way to kind of tip the staff and a way to get your question to the front of the line. Let's go ahead and get to this one here. Is there a reason that Notre Dame is being pretty hush-hush about their transfer portal targets? Also, will Notre Dame offer another running back with the Dylan Edwards decommit? And Wicked Broncos also saying, Mike, tell us who the surprises would be, please.
Look, I posted in some articles that I just have a hunch that they're Notre Dame might have some this is working on things behind the scenes. Like there could be a surprise. That's all we're talking about, right? I mean, so it's not like I'm like, oh, Notre Dame's flipping this. Notre Dame's gonna flip Arch Manning, and I'm keeping it from you guys. Like, no, that's not what's going on here. So I am not the. Well, I know things and I'm not going to tell you guys like that. That is not me as a reporter. I don't do that. I really don't like when reporters do that. I think it's very, very annoying, to be quite frank with you. So when I say, hey folks, I got a gut feeling, that Notre Dame's going to, I'm reading in between the lines. I think Notre Dame's going to pull something off. I'm telling you, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you exactly what I know at that point. I'm not hinting at a specific player or anything like that. I'm just reading between the lines from what I'm being told on various things and telling you exactly what I know at that point. Now, that's not to say that there are things that I know that I can't say. Of course, I would be a bad reporter if that wasn't the case sometimes, but I am really not the guy to come on here and be like, yeah, I know this stuff. How cool am I? I'm Mike Singer. I know all this, but I can't tell you guys. That would be really freaking annoying. That would be annoying. So now to kind of get into your first two questions, which I want to mention, by the way, that was a $10 super chat, right? That's a month subscription at Blue and Gold. You can sign up $10. And now listen, I love YouTube. I mean, we hit 20,000 subs recently. We love doing these shows, but there are some things that I can't give to our free audience, right? If you're watching this, it's $0 for you to watch this, that I put on our message board. Like that's our premium info over at blueandgold.com. $10 super chat that he just popped in. And Wicked Bronco Productions is a member of our board. It's $10 to sign up. It gets you access through the start of next football season. So $10 for this month, January, right? $10 a month alone is good just for this month. And you get access using that $10 through or until August 31st. Come on, folks. But
it's so easy. It's great.
Yeah, just do it. Come on.
Think about all the subscriptions are out there. You've probably got Paramount Plus, Hulu, this, that. What's $10 to get everything Notre Dame football at all times?
I mean, it's seriously, it's worth it. Just think about $10 is a Taco Bell run. Just don't go to Taco Bell.
Taco Bell all over your mind today, Mike. I love it.
Oh, I know. I'm getting Little Caesar. I got a T-Mobile Tuesday discount for $4. Little Caesar's deep dish. Don't sleep on Little Caesar's deep dish. It is fantastic.
I'm the last to sleep on Little Caesars, Mike. Hot and ready, always.
Now hot and ready is a little bit of the struggle bus, but I'm still fine with it. But their deep dish, I am telling you, it's fantastic. It is fantastic.
Detroit deep dish, that is.
I'm a big deep dish guy. Detroit deep dish, Chicago. Oof, okay. Okay, but I do want to get more into the super chat, though. Is there a reason Notre Dame is being hush-hush about their transfer targets? Yeah, I mean, reporting on transfers, and because everyone's in the comments saying, oh, I want to know about the quarterbacks or the receivers. It's just a little bit different. Like, you'll have some players in the transfer portal announce their new offers, but it's not, it's just different than high school reporting. Visits are not as reported. It's just a little bit more quiet. Why that is, I don't know. So much of transfer portal recruiting, it's different. Like we used to not say transfer portal recruiting. That wasn't a term until like recently. So everything is just changing. So I don't have a great answer for you there. And then will Notre Dame offer a running back with Edwards decommitment? That's also TBD. If I think right now, the answer is no. But if Jayden Limar also flips, then maybe, but still possibly no. So to be determined. Yeah, I haven't left my house all week. And I don't sleep a ton. I can't even imagine what it's like for that Notre Dame staff right now. They're probably just not even sleeping at all. So yeah, very, very busy times ahead of National Signing Day. But
Yeah, and
appreciate
Mike,
it,
please
guys.
get some rest, take a nap, go to Taco Bell after this, get yourself right. I know.
And I'll nap when I'm dead, but I will get Taco Bell soon.
Well, at least after the 21st, as you know, this continues to ramp up towards signing day, and this show just flying by on a Friday. Great hanging out with you
It
guys
is.
here
It
as
is
the
flying
weekend
by. We're
starts.
15 minutes in.
Minutes.
How about that?
Unbelievable. Insane. That's just how it goes on the Friday. And really, the true reason we moved our show to Friday was to give you guys all of Thursday to go check out Augie's locker room. We wanted to set the entire day aside so you could have the chance to be a part of something really cool, really special, and extremely unique if you're a Notre Dame fan. And you're looking for a special piece to complete your rec room. Maybe you're going to want to go to augieslockerroom.com. They got a wide selection of Notre Dame stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, one-of-a-kind Rockney items. You can even find an exclusive Joe Montana signed item. If you'd like, maybe famous sculptor Jerry McKenna's miniature replicas of the bronze statues around the stadium. Whatever you're looking for that's unique, customized, they're going to have it at Augie's Locker Room. And if he doesn't, he will find it for you. All you have to do, like I said, go to augieslockerroom.com or stop in 1811 South Bend Avenue, like the city. That's 1811 South Bend Avenue. Or you want to call them, it's 574-277-INDY, like Notre Dame. Notre Dame, that's 574-277-INDY. Again, augieslockerroom.com, 1811 South Bend Avenue. That's where you're going to find some of the coolest memorabilia pieces out there right now.
Trey.
So be sure to do that, guys.
Look at this
Oh my
beauty. Goodness. The green
Signed.
Kyle Hamilton replica jersey signed.
One of a kind, guys.
It's certified? Come on now. That is that's beautiful.
Go ahead and add it to the cart there while you're at it. Guys, go check it out, Augie's Locker Room. And as we move it along here, Mike, I got to get to something that came out earlier this week. It was unfortunate news for this class. Dylan Edwards, I saw some comments about it earlier as well. Your reaction to his decommitment news and the impact that this is going to have on the class.
Yeah, Trey. So we did a video with myself and Darren Pritchett this week, and it was talking about the news of Colorado offering Dylan Edwards. And right away, I text people close to Edwards and on the Notre Dame side of things to kind of feel like, hey, like what's going on here? Because Dylan Edwards is a very flashy, he's a primetime kind of guy. I'm like, I could see him taking a look at Colorado. Like, Dylan Edwards' father played at Kansas State, or probably, in the same time. And I don't think his dad Leon played in the NFL, but like when he's playing, Deion Sanders was a big time, obviously player in the NFL. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this family knows Deion Sanders, like they know that pedigree. Something I think that there's going to be something to see here. And there was a comment here about did Edwards decommit? Was that a huge surprise, or did we know it was coming? And I'll get to that, David. So I was told, no, he's solid, like locked in. Like one person kind of laughed at me when I even asked about the thought of, Dylan Edwards potentially flipping Colorado, and then all of a sudden, boom, decommits, and it was a huge surprise. I legitimately had my my jaw was dropped for a good 3 or 4 minutes. Just did not see this one coming. Now, when I talk to people in Kansas that I trust, they weren't surprised, but more so just because, he burned Kansas State, he'll do it again kind of thing. No real like, we heard this was coming. It was just kind of a history is this is what's going to happen. But otherwise, didn't see this coming. Notre Dame had a in-home visit with them on Tuesday, and then Thursday afternoon, less than 48 hours later, he's decommitting. Just did not Just did not see that coming. And I did tweet out the picture. If I can pop it up on the screen, let's see. Chris, I'm going to pop this up if you don't mind. I mean, look at this. That's Tuesday night. Look in the background here. These banners. I mean, that's Dylan McCullough, right? It's Marcus Freeman. And then you got Dylan's brother to his right and his dad to his left. I just did not see that coming. And I mean, look at the smiles there. Just for he picks up the Colorado offer Tuesday morning, has Notre Dame at his house Tuesday evening. You're like, all right, they're going to kind of shut that down. Nope. So yeah, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, I mean, out of nowhere. And Michael said it best in the comments. It's comical to look at the signage there in the background of that picture and then this news. In your opinion, what happened? I mean, I know Deion Sanders obviously was hired at Colorado within the last week, but what happened here?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. And also I think like, look, recruiting's a business. And for folks on the Edward side of things to say throughout the past couple months that that he was solid with Notre Dame and that was looking good, that wasn't the case. And they have every right to do that and say those things because they got to look out for themselves. And I think he's more serious about Kansas State than it was being led on for a long time. Like he's very interested in potentially a flip back to the Wildcats, but it certainly does look like he's going to end up playing for Coach Prime in Boulder. And man, when we do these shows, right? I'm just rambling. So I brought up the YouTube video that we did, or I don't know if I ever finished that thought. But that video has almost 60,000 views. It's like our biggest video ever. And Blue and Gold were the ones who leaked. Leak's not the right word. Maybe it is. Let's just go with leaked. We're the ones who leaked the audio of Brian Kelly's departure message to the team. That was us. We posted that. This has more views on YouTube than that.
Oh, goodness.
It's just the audio. It's just playing over a still picture. But
that's clicks though. Wow.
Yeah, so it's mostly just angry Deion Sanders and Colorado fans hating on us, but still, like it's just going to show that like this Coach Prime thing is I don't know if it's going to be a train wreck or if it's going to result in national championships for Colorado, but it is interesting to say the least. Like that whole thing. It's like Texas A&M's recruiting class last year. That was really interesting. It's like the first NIL class, right? Like, what are they going to, and how are they going to deal with 9 defensive linemen they added? And I already seeing some of those transfer out. So it's like, where does this go from here? I do not know. It's going to be interesting though.
It is going to be really interesting. And I see another super chat there. Thank you so much, Dynastic Vision. Got a gut feeling that there's going to be a surprise with Jayden Limar. I like it. And thank you again for that super chat. What you got there, Mike? I see you got.
Well, yeah, a surprise with Jayden Limar. What? That wouldn't be good. So I don't know.
Hopefully not. Hopefully that's the wrong gut feeling there.
Yeah, unless you think, unless you're already assuming he flips to Oregon and that the surprise is that he stays, because Oregon wants some, and there's already a prediction for him to flip from the Ducks writer at on 3. So you had 3 running backs committed, and you also had Brandon Hellman committed who could play running back, and it's just like, man, look at all this talent. And and then the comments are like, oh well, you would expect a decommitment because of there's only one football, right, and too many mouths to feed. But again, there was no talk about Dylan Edwards' decommitment. So you lose him, and then could Limar flip? Really interesting situation, guys. The biggest thing for Jay Limar right now, in my opinion, is the close to home factor. We saw CJ Williams last cycle, right? Was committed to Notre Dame and flips late because he just wanted to stay close to home. Just wanted to stay close to home. If that's how Jayden Limar's feeling, that's going to be tough for Notre Dame to hold on to him.
What a tough break that would be with the Edwards news this week as well. Dynastic Vision, we know you're smart for joining our show today, so we're going to rely on your brain and not your gut. But thank you again for the super chat there. Mike, as we move it along here, I want to talk about Notre Dame's targets as they've been announced. They've announced their decisions December the 16th. I saw you had a prediction in this week for Tayshaun Lyons to Washington. Talk about that a little bit more, and we'll go through some other guys here as well real quick.
Yeah, so Tayshaun Lyons logged a prediction for him to go to Washington. He's got a top 4 of Washington, Notre Dame, Miami, and Oregon. And I logged the prediction for Notre Dame a while back. Sources felt really, really good that was going to work out. It didn't. And then it was kind of a process of elimination. I don't think Miami's much in the running. I don't think Oregon's much in the running. So Washington makes most sense for him ahead of his December 16th decision date. And you got a total of three Notre Dame targets announcing in that day. So I like Lyons to Washington, which, I mean, Notre Dame landed Caleb Smith and at the, what was that last week? The receiver from Texas. At that point, it was pretty apparent that Lyons, was off the board. And then Khalil Barnes is a two-way guy. Notre Dame had been recruiting him at receiver, but was open to him possibly playing corner as well. Logged a prediction for him to go to Clemson. He's another December 16th decision date. Follow the visits is one of my mantras. And Khalil Barnes, it did not get a visit from the Notre Dame staff this week. So I kind of thought that was telling a little bit. So I'm going with Clemson for him. And then also December 16th is 2024 running back Aeneas Williams. Top 12 or so. Notre Dame's in there. And I blogged my prediction for Notre Dame to land him in early November. So I do like the Irish there still. Decision is, he had been talking about a decision before the start of his senior season. Well, it still is before his senior season. It's just a lot earlier, than August or so. But yeah, like the Irish there, RPM's leaning heavily towards towards the Fighting Irish. But so like Notre Dame there. So that's kind of the rundown. December 16th, the last Friday before signing day, is apparently a busy day for some of these guys.
Going to be a very busy day. And as we close out the show, I want to zoom out and take a look at this class as a whole. But Mike, before I do that, I want to tell you about one more of our friends, a good friend of ours, Mike Brown, who was a former Leprechaun himself. That's why you guys need to check out The Leprechaun's Game Day at Notre Dame. It's an officially licensed children's book that describes the beautiful pageantry of a football Saturday at Notre Dame. Guys, it's the holiday season now. This is a perfect stocking stuffer, Christmas gift to go along with that $10 blue and gold subscription as well. This is something that can ingrain that Notre Dame fandom from a young age. And all you have to do is visit www.lepgameday.com. Once you get this book, guys, you're going to be able to follow the Leprechaun from step off into the tunnel and onto Notre Dame's field as he leads the team to an Irish victory. Like I said, guys, a perfect holiday gift, perfect read-along book for kids, and a perfect book, even if you're not a kid, to refresh your Notre Dame fandom. Like I said, just www.lepgameday.com. Go check it out today, guys. Mike Brown, you can get an officially signed copy of this book as well. When you use the code BG22, like blue and gold, that's BG22. Get an author signed copy today. Perfect stocking stuffer, perfect Christmas gift, and a perfect book here, The Leprechaun's Game Day at Notre Dame. As we close it out here, Mike, let's zoom it out now. I think it's December.
Hey, we got some news. We got news.
That? Is that breaking news and not a surprise.
Sound the DJ air horn.
Yep.
Got a transfer coming in this weekend. I know it's big time. I went to college at this, where this young man is coming from. It's a kicker. Spencer Schrader, I just got the text. Will be officially visiting Notre Dame this weekend. 6'2", 190 pounds. I don't want to get too much into specialists because, it's not the most interesting thing. But when Brian, like, you had this whole new Notre Dame staff coming in, right? It was supposed to be the gang staying together, and then you have John McNulty leave, Lance Taylor leave, Mike Elston leave, all that stuff. Brian Mason comes in, and Notre Dame is bringing in a bunch, walk-on transfer, scholarship transfers, super aggressive. And I had been telling folks for a long time, what you're seeing with these specialists, long snapper, punter, kicker, is what you're going to see with the rest of the roster. It is very much, hold on. Guys, I'm sorry, this is not good television.
No, you're good. And big shout out to Spencer here. I know he's a big fan of the Notre Dame recruiting update, for waiting to share this news until we were midway through the show, helping us get a little spark here. Thank you to Spencer. And I think these guys deserve credit out of Florida there. What you got on them, Mike?
Yeah, like the competition level, like this is what it's just going to be across the board. Like at quarterback, right? You have Tyler Buckner. You're bringing in Kenny Minchie as a true freshman. Still, Notre Dame would have brought in a grad transfer quarterback, or maybe undergrad transfer. I shouldn't say grad. That's still to be determined. But if Drew Pine were to stay, they're still taking a transfer. So like it's about competition, bringing guys in. So Blake Groupie, that was his lone year. Oh, maybe you have kickers on the roster. Now it's their time to step in. Nope, aggressive. So bringing in Spencer Schrader from USF, and yes, Mike Singer, USF grad. So there you go.
I love it. Out of South Florida there. Go Bulls. Bulls, right? Yeah, there it is. You guys have been excellent today. Thank you so much for getting in the comments with us. And as we close it out here, Mike, your final thoughts. December the 9th now, we're here just 12 days. If I can do just a little bit of math at the end of this show today, I believe 12 days now from National Signing Day, the early signing period, that's truly become the more important one. Your thoughts as Notre Dame's class, losing some guys, maybe adding some guys, and getting real close here.
Yeah, I would go back to that $10 deal to get you access through the start of next football season. Monday, after talking to sources, for the next couple of days, we're really going to put together, hopefully, a pretty big report on just kind of, let's take a step back, take a breather. Everyone wants this bit of information right now. Let's take a breather. I'm going to put it all together for you on Monday. Everything I know, high school transfer, everything I'm able to, and what I can report. So please do check that out on the website Monday morning, as well as all the latest. We haven't even talked about like the Notre Dame coaches on the road much. That's what we've been reporting on every day at Blue and Gold. But to kind of put a bow on this, outside of signing up for the website, it's a battle. It's a battle to keep all your guys committed. We haven't really talked about Peyton Bowen. Notre Dame had an in-home visit with him last night. Marcus Freeman will get his chance to host him, to go to his house this upcoming week. Just a battle. Keep your guys committed. Do they get a high school Viper? And then what does it look like in the transfer portal? I believe they're going to get a few guys, quarterback, potentially defensive linemen, whether that be a Viper or an interior player. Looks like a specialist. Do they go get a receiver? Going to have some, kind of updates on that in the gold standard. Things got some moving parts there. So it's busy. But yeah, it's a battle. My sources always call it this fight right now. You just got to keep fighting if you're Notre Dame. And it's right in the name. It's Fighting Irish. So it works out. But yeah, folks, definitely keep your eyes peeled to blueandgold.com.
So much going on right now. It's well said, Mike. $10. We want you to be able to read blueandgold.com while your young ones are reading the Leprechauns game day at Notre Dame, and all of this is going on at Augie's Locker Room. Of course, thank you guys so much for joining our show. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Early signing period is almost here. Until next week, for Mike Singer, my name is Trey Yanity. This has been the Notre Dame Recruiting Update.